And what is going on, boys and girls? We have another week of NFL action. This week, there's no Titans, there's no Cowboys, because they are on bye this week, which is a pretty good thing for me because my teams have been struggling. They need a break. But also Atlanta and the Chargers are on bye. But we're going to start off. Game 1 is tonight. I'm recording this Thursday. It's about 15 minutes from now. When that game will start. Miami at Houston. Houston is 7.5 point favorites in that game. And it's hard to tell. I mean, Houston's really picked it up here recently. But Miami's also a solid team. They do have Osweiler as the quarterback, and it's hard to root for or pick Osweiler quarterback in Miami there. But I'm going to have to go with Houston, the home field advantage, and they're a better team. They're really picking it up here recently. Sunday's action starts early, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in London. Philadelphia at Jacksonville. Now this was looking like it was going to be a really good game for those British fans over there, but Philadelphia's kind of struggling. Jacksonville has scored a grand total of 28 points in the last 3 games. They haven't really performed well. I mean, their offense has been, as we knew coming into this year, Jacksonville's offense wasn't the strength. Fournette going down hurt. They don't really have wide receivers, and Blake Bortles is their quarterback. He's a decent quarterback. You know, he's kind of average, but he's not enough to pick up the slack for the whole team. Defense is usually pretty good for them. The past couple weeks, they've given up quite a bit of points. But Philadelphia, like I said, has been struggling to get points. So it could be a tight game in London, and plus the travel would be interesting to see how that works out. Jacksonville is one of the teams that they've been talking about maybe moving to London. So we'll see a lot of Jacksonville in London. They're going to be one that gets used to playing there. I think they're supposed to be playing there every year for the next few years. But what I've seen recently, I got to say, Philadelphia's got to be the team to win this one. They're 3.5 point favorites, so that's solid. They're saying it's going to be a kind of close game, and I think it could be a touchdown difference, maybe 4 points somewhere in there. It should be a tight, low-scoring game, I would think. Jacksonville has been giving up a lot of points here recently, but Philadelphia is one, like I mentioned earlier, that struggled to get points. So I think that kind of works both ways. You got a team that's struggling to get points against a team that's been giving up a lot. That should help Philadelphia. And Jacksonville, they've been giving up a lot of points, but a team coming in that's been struggling, so maybe they'll continue to struggle for Jacksonville. But all that being said, I got to go Philadelphia on this one. They're defending Super Bowl champs. They've been getting better each week, a little bit here and there, and Carson Wentz being back, I feel like he's getting 100%. So I got to go Philadelphia on this one. For 1 o'clock games on the continental US of A, we start off with the Jets at Chicago. The Bears have been really good. The Jets, I would have thought would have done better last week. That was a bit of a surprise with their loss. Their rushing has been great this year. Passing, not really, not great. And Sam Darnold's a rookie quarterback. He's had his moments of good, but it's been kind of just a solid quarterback. Defense is a strong point for the Jets, but defense is the strong point with the Bears. They're probably the best defense in the league. They did have a rough one this past week against the Patriots, but I mean, the Patriots are kind of a team that matches up pretty well offensively to the Bears defense. But the Jets, their strength is the run game, and I don't think they're going to run as well against the Bears. Bears are coming off a 1 yard short last week against having a chance to beat the Patriots, and they had a couple plays here and there, as most games go, where they could have won. But I think the Bears, they got to be the easy pick against the Jets. They're 6.5 point favorites. That it could be a low scoring game. The Bears showed last week they can score, which was against the Patriots defense that isn't top tier, of course, but Still that being said, they scored 31. Almost, they were a yard short from getting 37, and then 38 with the extra point. So I mean, the Bears' offense is good enough. Trubisky's been great this year. He's not. He's had a few really great weeks. If you have him in fantasy football, you kind of like the guy, depending on your scoring rules. But he doesn't make too many mistakes, and that's what I like about Trubisky. And I think that's going to help them a lot this week against the Jets. Next, we have Tampa at Cincinnati. Tampa's struggling. They started off, they had the Fitzmagic stuff. They were doing great. They were, unstoppable, it seemed, on their offense. I think they got a little reality check here recently and these past few weeks. Going into Cincinnati is going to be tough. Cincinnati's a hard-hitting team, and they're good defense, and their offense has been a whole lot better this year than I think we expected. Andy Dalton's kind of been known as like that kind of Blake Bortles kind of quarterback. A little bit better than Bortles, but middle of the road kind of quarterback. And I think he's done it good enough this year, just a little bit better. And their run game has been strong with Giovanni Bernard and whoever they decide to put back there. Walton, I think. Mixon has kind of been in there. They've had injuries and stuff, and of course AJ Green. So I'm gonna pick the Bengals on that one. They're 6.5 point favorites. I think that's pretty solid there. Next we have Seattle at Detroit. This could be a good game. Detroit, I still don't really know what I'm going to see with Detroit. I think they'll win this one. They'll be in Detroit. They're 2.5 point favorites over Seattle. Seattle's coming off of a bye week, so maybe they'll bounce back and be really good. But I gotta go to Detroit on this one. The offensive line for Seattle is just not that great, and Detroit's got a pretty good defense from what I've seen. Not top tier, but pretty good against the mediocre Seattle offensive line. Then we have next Denver at Kansas City. I'm going to say Kansas City. Denver had a good week last week, but they're going against a high power offense in Kansas City. Kansas City's 10.5 point favorites. They'll be at home. It's a pretty big rivalry game, and they'll be pumped up there in Kansas City. So I got to go Chiefs on that one. Redskins at Giants. And as Redskins is a 0.5 point favorite, coming off they beat the Cowboys by a field goal, and that was a very disappointing game for Cowboys fans. You let the strip sack happen in the end zone. If that didn't happen, if you even just take a safety or just throw it away, it's a whole different game. But hindsight's 2020. The Cowboys get a whole bye week to reassess and figure things out. They got Amari Cooper coming in now, and hopefully he becomes a wide receiver that can really help that passing game and the offense. But Redskins, Giants, it's hard because the Giants have been they're getting better. What we expect is them to lose. The Redskins have some good veterans in Alex Smith and Adrian Peterson on offense. Their defense has been good enough, and I think the Redskins will win. Interestingly, they have them as a 0.5 point favorite, so it should be a tight game according to the odds. Then we have Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is 7.5 point favorites against Cleveland. The two of these tied earlier in the year. Pittsburgh's getting better each week. Don't think Le'Veon Bell is going to be playing. He was supposed to come back week 7 on the bye week and get paid for the bye week, and then week 8 was when he was expected to come back and play. Be looking out. He could be traded. The trade deadline's coming up this week, and there should be some good moves coming in this weekend. We've seen some already, some crazy ones, draft picks and stuff being traded. Damon Harrison from the Giants, Eli Apple from the Giants, for picks to Apple to the Saints, and Harrison to the Lions. So back to the Lions game earlier, that he could be helpful this week against Seattle, who has a subpar offensive line. Eli Apple with the Saints, he'll be going against the Vikings on Sunday night, so we'll see if that helps them. But Pittsburgh and Cleveland, man, I think Pittsburgh's the favorite here. They've gotten better. They made progress. Cleveland's kind of dropped a little bit, but I think it'll be a close one. I don't think 7.5. I think it'll be closer than a touchdown in this one. Of course, I could be completely wrong. I've been kind of terrible in these picks, but I'm gonna still pick Pittsburgh on this one. Then we have Baltimore at Carolina. Baltimore's coming off a devastating loss. Justin Tucker missed the first extra point he has ever missed in the NFL. He's 222 and 223. Wait, what? 222 out of 223. And you've seen the memes, I'm sure, of him being just surprised and stunned by the miss. That miss, if he'd have made it, would have been overtime. Or, there was 20-some seconds left in the game, but most likely it was going to be overtime unless the Saints got a couple plays in to get it up the field. Yeah, that was a tough one. The Saints scored a lot against them in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to learn from that in Baltimore and bounce back if they want to compete against the Panthers. It has them as a 1.5 favorite over the Panthers. I still feel confident in the Baltimore defense. The Panthers offense hasn't shown me as much as the Saints offense, so that could help Baltimore. I'm still thinking it's gonna be a low scoring game, probably 24-17 or something like that. Maybe closer, but I'm gonna go Ravens on that one. Then we have the Colts at the Raiders at 4 o'clock. It has the Colts as a 1.5 favorite. The Raiders have been making a lot of trades. They just traded Amari Cooper, got a first round pick for him. Seems like they're trying to just set up for the future here. You hate to say it for the Raiders, the Oakland fans, but it seems like they're setting it up for Vegas when they move the team. I'd like to see that team compete because they've had talent. It's not working out for them. But the Colts are the favorite in this game by 1.5, and I don't know. You're still in Oakland, but I think the Colts will get it done. Andrew Luck and them have been really picking it up, and it's a tough division. They have I think 1, maybe 2 wins. They're on the outside looking into that division, but I think this game could really help them get the confidence if they can win it. That'll help them moving forward and really mix up the AFC South. At 4:25, we have the Rams playing host to the Green Bay Packers. Has the Rams as 9.5-point favorites. I think the Rams are definitely the favorite. They're undefeated this year. They're basically the Super Bowl predictor. All of them would say the Rams are going to win the NFC. Right now, it's looking like Rams and Chiefs. Outside chances with the Patriots. The Jaguars could bounce back. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team anymore. Philadelphia has shown that they can change their team, be really good later on, but they've really been struggling. So yeah, Rams, Chiefs is what it's looking like. Maybe the Chargers. The Chargers' only losses have been the Rams and the Chiefs. They're on bye this week. And they had a close one against the Titans by 1 point on a missed 2-point conversion. I digress, but anyway, the Chargers are a good shot at the Super Bowl. It's looking like Vikings, Saints, they're good teams. But yeah, Rams, Chiefs, I think are the favorite for the Super Bowl, in my opinion at least. But yeah, Rams should handle Green Bay pretty well. San Francisco at Cardinals, that'll be a tight one, I think. I want to say 49ers win this one. It has Cardinals as a 1/2-point favorite. Picked the Cardinals last week. That was completely wrong. Sorry about that. It was 45-10. Cardinals lost. But yeah, I gotta go 49ers on this one. That game is also at 4:30. And yeah, I want to see the Cardinals do well. I want to see Josh Rosen do well. David Johnson. They got great players on the team. It's just they can't figure it out. You got Patrick Peterson wanting out. 49ers they've done well with Jimmy Garoppolo being hurt. They've really handled it Beathard, and the run game has been good. So I think this is a game they can win. For Sunday night, we have the Saints at the Vikings. Vikings are 1.5-point favorites. It should be a good game. The Vikings haven't really shown me much this year. I would have thought they would be really great with Kirk Cousins coming in. Their defense last year was good. I figured it would be good this year. Their offense, I mean, you got the run game, you got the pass game, you got a decent offensive line. I would have thought they would have been, better than they are, but Saints on the other end are a great offense. They've shown They score a lot of points every week. Their defense usually isn't that great, so that could be good for the Vikings offense. I'm gonna say Vikings win this one because they'll score more and they'll hold the Saints down a little bit maybe. If they can hold them to 20 points, I think the Vikings have a shot. Last week we saw the Ravens hold them to 24, and they had a shot. All they had to do was make that extra point, and it could have been overtime. They could have won it then. So I think the sweet spot is to get them 20 points or less, and you got a good shot of winning because that defense on the Saints isn't really that great. They did get Eli Apple. We'll see how that affects them. And they still have Marshawn Lattimore. Spoke a little quick there, but they have some young guys I think on the Saints that they can get better, but Eli Apple could be a difference maker for them in the pass game from defense. They got their run game, of course. And Drew Brees, their offense we know is great, one of the top offenses in the league. They're maybe up there with, I would say, them and the Chiefs are probably the top offenses. The Rams have been a really good offense. But yeah, I got to go Vikings on this. I think last week they kind of escaped it with a win, and this week, the Vikings maybe watch some film. They'll be ready for them. So Vikings on that one. And then Monday night is garbage time. If Buffalo somehow wins this, that would be great for Buffalo, but Patriots are 13.5 point favorites against Buffalo this Monday night. That's kind of a weird one to schedule in prime time. I mean, it is a divisional game. Buffalo, both of them were playoff teams last year, so I mean, I guess when they're doing scheduling, maybe they thought Buffalo would be a little better this year, but I got to go Patriots on that. I don't think the Bills can really compete against the Patriots. Those Bills, they scored 5 points last week, lost 37-5. I think they'll score a little bit more than 5 against the Patriots, but I still think it's going to be a blowout. And once again, the bye weeks this week: Atlanta, Dallas, Tennessee, and the Chargers. And that'll just about do it this week. And of course, the World Series is going on. I'm not watching it because I do not like the Red Sox, and I don't really like the Dodgers. But for those of you that are fans of those teams or fans of baseball, enjoy that and enjoy this week of football. Also want to say I want to wish a happy birthday to my dad, who is turning 60 this year. And his Cowboys will not lose on his birthday, so he is happy about that. Also, shout out to Webcast, my friend Travis Webb. Some of you may have come to this channel because he shouted me out on his channel, so I appreciate that, and I'm hoping to maybe do a collaboration with him. We'll see what we can come up with, and yeah, be fun, but be looking out for that. Also, I'm going to have some more sports gaming highlight videos maybe coming soon, so be looking out for that. And that being said, see you next week.